Hello! Welcome! I am so excited that you're here and that you are going to listen to St. Vincent's new album, Daddy's Home with Me. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm obsessed with St. Vincent. Annie Clark is just a musical genius, and I haven't heard anything from this album, including the singles yet, so I have no idea what to expect. But listen, I'm gonna take a guess here, okay? I feel like the album is gonna be sexy, and I think that it's gonna say something because I feel like, at least with Mass Seduction, the whole album was meaningful. I don't know, it makes you think. It's like a commentary on society and life and all that shit. So anyway, I kind of am thinking, or at least I'm hoping that that's what this album is, but I have no idea. So we're gonna listen to it together and find out. But anyway, for those of you guys that are new here, welcome. Thank you for checking out this channel. I love you so much, and I can't wait to hang out with you for the next 30 minutes or so. My name is Dano. I'm a singer-songwriter from Asbury Park, New Jersey. And the reason I started this whole channel in the first place is the best way that I learn how to be a better songwriter is by listening to other artists that do it very, very well. And then what I do is, somewhere back here, I always have a handy dandy notebook and I'm taking down some notes, making note of the things that I thought were really cool so that when I go to write my own music, I have a library of ideas of some things that I can pull from. So if you're a singer-songwriter, I hope that you're gonna get some value out of that. And if you're not a singer-songwriter and you're just here to listen and hang out, I think you're gonna enjoy it too. And as always, you know I like to get comfy. It's actually morning here right now, so I've got some vegan yogurt for breakfast. So anyway, get yourself something to eat, get yourself something to drink, kick back, relax, and let's dive right in. The first song, which I think was a single, is Pay Your Way in Pain, but I haven't heard it before, so let's give it a listen. I knew it was gonna be sexy. Oh! Yeah. Oh my God. I am so excited for this album. All right. It is everything. It was sexy. We knew that, but it was really fucking sexy. And Annie doesn't give a single fuck. Do you see a fuck? I don't. Annie surely doesn't. There are gonna be no fucks on this album. But anyway, let's talk about a few cool things I picked up from a songwriting perspective. So the first one is I loved how the song started out with a ragtime feel, and then it just switched right into kind of a retro pop vibe, I guess. And that contrast was really cool. But you kind of even though the ragtime elements switched there were still some elements of that throughout the song. And I think my favorite is the way that she had the background vocals with all these women, and there was the chatter in the background in addition to the actual background vocals that didn't line up perfectly. It really sounded like a group of ladies hanging out at the saloon. You know, just I felt like it just really set the stage and set the scene really well. So great creative decision to have the background vocals and that background chatter going out throughout the song. So we've already established that Annie gives no fucks, and I think that we should look forward to expecting there to be no fucks for the rest of this album. But one of the parts that really shone through is when she sang that high note in the middle and all the instruments dropped out. It was just amazing. It's so free. She's literally doing whatever the hell she wants, and it shows. And I just she, for me, especially as a female, she's just that BFE, that big female energy just radiates off of her. She has confidence that I would love to emulate. So I just love her bravery, to be able to be her true self and really sing whatever the hell she wants. But the way that the instruments dropped out over that part really highlighted the vocals. I mean, she's just out there, singing this super high note, not giving a fuck without any support underneath her. Ooh, it just really made it hit home. And then of course the end where she kind of gets into that screamy voice a little bit. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up so we can just keep listening. The next song is called, I had to read that twice. The next song is called Down and Out Downtown. Guys, that's it. I'm obsessed with this whole album. I heard 2 songs, but I'm already obsessed with the whole album. But oh my gosh, okay, let's talk about that for a hot second. First, the fade in intro, yes, I haven't heard a fade in intro Like, I don't even know the last time I heard that. So super cool way to start the song. It was very bluesy. The bass part kind of reminded me of Come Together by the Beatles. So I don't know, I got like a little bit of that old school vibe from that. And like that bass part really did make it sexy. But another thing that made it sexy is her vocals. Like she's got these like airy vocals that are just, so sexy. So, love that. Obsessed. Also, can we talk about that part in the song where like all the instruments pulled back and then we introduced a sitar? Like, holy crap, was not expecting that. I love when musicians and music like shocks me or does something that I'm not expecting. Like, I'm just like, whoa, that's so cool, that's so interesting. And it's just a great way to like keep your listener engaged and excited about the song when you do cool stuff like that. So super cool idea from Annie Clark and her producer, whose name is escaping me at the moment, but I will Google it before the next song. And the last thing I want to mention is I thought that it was really cool how the harmonic rhythm changed on the syllables, like down and out, downtown, where it like each chord changed on the syllables, except for downtown. Anyway, I thought that was really great. I'm so guilty of when I am a songwriter and I come up with a chord progression, I like never change the harmonic rhythm of that chord progression. So like the whole song, it's like 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars. And so when you do something and you just change the harmonic rhythm, it's just a great way to do something a little different and keep your listener engaged. So that one is definitely being added to my library of ideas. So if my song is boring, I could be like, how can I make it not boring? Maybe try switching up the harmonic rhythm. So thanks, St. Vincent, you're the MVP. Anyway, up next we have Daddy's Home, the title of the album. So I guarantee that this song is gonna be a banger. Here we go. Woo! Something is weird about listening to like a song like this and eating yogurt. It just like, it's not matching up in my head right now. This is not an album that you should be eating yogurt to. Should I have like a morning scotch? That's what I need. You need a scotch with this album. Woo! Annie Clark, will you marry me? She's just so amazing. And by the way, I'm almost certain that this song is about her dad coming home from prison. And I just love the opening line of the song, something about signing autographs in the waiting room. I don't know, just like anytime that lyrics are specific like that, it just hits home and I don't know, kind of helps you like transport into their life a little bit and what it's like. So I just think the concept for the song is great. And honestly, the album is called this. So it's obviously something that's important to her. And I just love her honesty and her authenticity. It really shows. She's just queen. She's just, I just want to be her. That's it. Also, you know, I just think she's such a sexy singer. And another way that she did that and like kind of created that sexiness in this song, she had the slides like Daddy's Home. And so anytime you're doing like a slide, that can be a little sexy in your song. And also she had like those screams that the compression on the vocals, like that. Actually, Megan Thee Stallion does that. Anytime we're doing that, that's like a way that you can make your song a little sexy if that's something that you're trying to do. Also, I'm gonna keep eating my yogurt because it's like 10:30 here in the morning and I'm hungry, but like should I just start drinking scotch? Should I do that? Is that a bad idea? All right, up next we have Live in the Dream, which, oh, by the way, when I said it out loud, it's actually Live in the Dream, but it could also sound like, excuse me, yogurt burp. It can also sound like live in the dream, but there's a big difference between living the dream and live in the dream. Let's see what the song has in store for us. Those harmonies. Wow. St. Vincent is amazing, like in so many different ways. But first, let's talk about the tempo of the song because I have not heard a song that was this slow in tempo. My voice sounds weird. I've not heard a song that was this slow in tempo like ever, or at least I can't like recall one that comes to mind. Maybe if you know another one, leave it in the comments. But like the song was so slow and it was so vibey. Like it was vibey and jammy and like trippy, and I was getting like major Beatles vibes from it. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I feel like this album would be really great listening to with a little, just saying, just putting that out there. Yeah, it was so vibey. And you get these like, this song is called Living the Dream, but you get like this dream-like feeling because there's just so much reverb on everything. And like, you know, like the instruments are just like hanging over and there's like these lush and rich vocal layers going all over the place. That was amazing. That was amazing. Also, let's bring it back to the opening. The harmonies in the opening were just mwah, perfect. Perfect. I absolutely love them. You know on this channel that I'm a sucker for good harmonies, but what a great way to start that song. And from the opposite, let's go to the end of the song. I love that there was this long fade out ending. And on top of that, they weren't just fading it out. When they were fading it out, I'm not a mixing and mastering engineer, but I think what was happening is they were taking the highs out to just have like more of a muted sound. So it's like getting quieter and then also going a little more muffly like that. And wow, it's almost like the equivalent if you do yoga of like Shavasana at the end of yoga. Like that's the ending. That was like the Shavasana of this song. So it was such a great way to end on such a vibey song that you're really like in, like that song sucks you in. Anyway, up next we have The Melting of the Sun. My spoon just fell in my yogurt. It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it? Oh my gosh, another gem, another gem. If I can be like half as good as a songwriter as St. Vincent, I will just die a happy person. So freaking good. Anyway, the biggest thing that I took away from that song is I think that she did a really phenomenal job with where the background vocals were placed in the chorus. Actually, let me pull up the lyrics because you know, some songwriters will talk about this thing called spotlighting where like there's always something that you're listening to in the song. And because there's kind of like some gaps in the lead vocals, that space was filled with the background vocals so that you did have that where the listener always had something to listen to, which I feel like is really important in the chorus because that's not a spot where you want your listener to zone out. So yeah, it's like, it's just the melting of the sun. It's just the sun. I want to watch it burn, or I want to watch you watch it burn. So watch it burn. We always knew this day would come. The day has come. It's just the melting of the sun. Sun, sun, sun. So really cool way to keep your listener engaged throughout the entire chorus. The other cool thing I want to say is this song, I thought that she did a really good job of helping to convey the emotion of the song by having that like really chaotic part. I think it was like in the middle-ish somewhere where there's just like so much going on. You didn't know what to listen to. The reverb was like turned all the way up and it's just like, ah! And then all of a sudden, it stops and you're like, whoa, and you're like woken up from this chaotic spot and it's just the vocals and an acoustic guitar. It's such a great attention grabber. It literally stops you in your tracks and things like that. I think just do a really great job of helping the emotion come through in the song. So another fire song by St. Vincent. Up next, I think this is a short one. Yeah, it's a minute long. Humming Interlude 1. All right, that was cool. A nice little interlude. I think because it was kind of muted, it really made you kind of like lean in and listen to it to hear what's going on. And it kind of felt like you were like listening to something that you weren't supposed to. Like you were just like sneaking around the corner, getting a little sneak peek. I love it has like that old, vintagey sound, like I don't know, like you're literally transported back in time. And I'm not 100% sure because I'm listening with two speakers, but I'm almost positive that it started in the left speaker and just like by the end was all the way in the right, which if that was true, again, it's kind of hard to hear on my speakers, but if you're listening with headphones, let me know if that's what happened because at least like when I was listening, I felt like the sound just like went from one side of the room to the other. Maybe it was just a weird coincidence. But anyway, I hope that that was intentional because it was really cool. Almost like you're going from one part to another, which is kind of the purpose of an interlude, I guess. Anyway, let's move right along. Up next, we have The Laughing Man. Hear angels weeping, I'm dying, laughing, suicidal ideation. Wow. St. Vincent, again. It's like they outdo themselves, or she outdoes herself on every single song. That was That was really amazing. Do you know how like good of a songwriter you have to be to write a one-line chorus and have it work? Like there's one line in that chorus. It's amazing. It's amazing. And the fact that there's only one line puts like so much emphasis on it. Like she's really letting you know that this is something that's really important. It has to do with the title of the song as well. So that one line is, if life's a joke, then I'm dying laughing. And there's just so much emphasis on it that you can like listen to the whole song and just like take that one piece away from it. And then she really emphasizes that again at the end of the song, but that's how the song ends. That line with nothing else underneath it. When you have no other instrument, it's just vocals, like all eyes are on the vocals and on what you're having to say. And she's not like screaming it or even singing it. It's almost in this like speaky place. It's very intimate. It's very intimate. And that song, I felt the feels on that one. I felt her emotion come through on that song. I don't know if you did as well, but she's so talented. Oh, she's so talented. Okay, anyway, up next we have Down. Yes! All right, you know I hate picking favorites, but like that one might be one of those favorite ones. They always are. I am obsessed with that song. I love it so much. First of all, and I know she's had this other parts in this album so far, but that like electric keyboard sound, it just gets me every time. I'm so into that. But anyway, this is the perfect example of like, I always think that St. Vincent is such like a badass. Like she just radiates big female energy. And this is that song where her confidence just really shines through. And I'm telling you, if I ever feel like timid or shy, I'm gonna turn on this song and give myself that pep talk because, you know, just the message of the song is about her going on the, you know, defending herself and fighting back. And, you know, especially like, I don't know about you, but like, I always feel like when people treat you poorly or whatnot, I always have like sympathy for them to the point of like, I don't want to fight back because I like feel bad that they're feeling bad enough to like put negative energy out there. But there's also a point where like you need to stand up for yourself. And I just love that song for this. And that's a perfect reminder of, you know, sometimes, not saying that you shouldn't have sympathy or empathy, but sometimes you need to stand up for yourself. And I tend to not do that in cases that I really should. So anyway, when I know I need to stand up for myself, I'm turning on this song and giving myself a pep talk. So that one, I think that's just the reason I liked it so much, is it just really spoke to me in that way. But anyway, up next we have another humming interlude. This one's number 2. Yeah, nothing exciting to really talk about. It was a 30-second palate cleanser to transition into the next song. So if you haven't listened to it, go check it out. But anyway, up next we have Somebody Like Me. Yay, I like that one a lot. St. Vincent just showing how amazing she is again. Also, I'm not really an instrumental player. I can like play a little bit of piano, but that's about it. But I feel like if you're a guitar player, a bass player, or a drummer, you would just really love and appreciate this album because without knowing much about how to play those instruments, I can just tell there's a lot of really cool stuff going on, not only in the song, but in the whole album. Like in particular, I love the motion of the acoustic guitar in this. It like really kept it moving along. And so I thought that was really cool. And then also the bass parts have been like really groovy throughout the entire album. So if you play bass, like I feel like you're gonna want to jam along to this entire album. Also, for some reason, I'm always like hesitant to do this. Like when I make my own songs, I like pick the instruments that I want. And then like those are the instruments I use throughout the whole song. And like I never throw in something just for like one word or something just for like one tiny part, because I feel like it'll not sound like it matches the whole song, if that makes sense. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. And honestly, there are times that you might want to add in something very unique to one word because you want a specific emotion to be felt on that one word. So a perfect example is that there were some extra layers on the word freak in the first verse to really make you feel freak. Like it just made the whole word a little darker, and that one word was darker than the rest of the phrase. And so I just have to remind myself as a songwriter that if there's a particular emotion that I want someone to feel on a specific word, like it's my job to make the listener feel that way. And you can do that by adding some extra color or texture to that one very specific part. So again, I just think it shows St. Vincent's talent as a songwriter when I hear stuff like that. Also, I am not a great poet by any means, and so maybe there's a name for this that I just don't know. But Annie is just a really great writer, and I loved how the first and second verse both started with the theme of white, but one went to angel and one went to wedding. And so I just thought that it was really cool to have the color kind of like be that attachment between the first and second verse. So just a cool little thing. Maybe I'll try to find, something that's similar to two different things and have that be the thread that links it all together. I thought that was really cool. But anyway, up next we have My Baby Wants a Baby. Here we go. I love St. Vincent. I just love her. I like the commentary on this song and what the song means. And I think that, especially being a woman, there's a lot of pressure on having kids. And a lot of times your value or worth in society is whether or not you have a kid or not. So I just love that St. Vincent chose this as a topic of the song and sang about it. I also love that she has the line that was like, I just want to play guitar all day. And then you go into a guitar solo. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but just things like that. I just love hearing that as a listener. The last thing I want to say about this song is that it's really hard for songwriters to help the listener feel the emotion that they're intending them to feel. And a really cool way that St. Vincent did this at that song is towards the end. It was like the very last section. The whole like instrumentals and melody was just very repetitive, almost like you're stuck on this one part and you're just like pounding that in, if that makes sense. I almost like want to listen to it again just so that I know exactly what lyrics are on, but it just really makes you feel that like this is a moment of pain and a moment of like, I don't know, anger and frustration. Frustration is the right word because you're like frustrated because it's not moving anywhere and you're just like stuck in this little tiny repetitive part. So I just thought that was a really cool way to get that emotion across because I felt it as a listener. So she obviously did a good job. But anyway, up next we have ... at the holiday party. So it's lyrics for me, and that song was brutally honest. Like St. Vincent is just telling it how it is because sometimes you need to hear how it is. And yeah, I just love how brutally honest and real she was. And yeah, I think one of my favorite lines of the whole song is, think if you can just keep spinning, you won't miss what you've been missing. And like, it's just so real. It's so real. And I love the use of repetition at the end. I know I've talked about this in another video, but for some reason I'm always scared to use repetition. But if you use it in the correct way, which is to repeat an important point in your song or repeat something that you really want your listener to ingrain in them, then you're doing it the right way. And so this song kind of ends on this repetition where you're just like hearing these words over and over again about how you can't hide. And like it literally gave me chills because it's one thing to say you can't hide, but it's another to say you can't hide. 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 And you're just like, oh my gosh. And you're like, I can't hide. I can't hide. There's no escape. There's no escape. And you got to be able to live with yourself. You can't hide from yourself. You can't run from yourself. So, wow. Actual chills. St. Vincent, if you're watching this, you are just so freaking talented. You're so talented. You're so good at what you do. Oh my gosh. I'm learning. I'm trying to soak. This is why I love to do like these listen with me's because I just want to like soak in all these techniques and things from these amazing songwriters and see how much I can learn. So I'm I'm so glad that you guys are hanging out with me. There's 2 songs left, but the last one is an interlude. So, you know, I gotta do my little plug. If you made it this far in this video, first of all, I freaking love you. Mwah! You're the best. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time and that you enjoyed it. If you did, you know, do the whole like and the subscribe, all that stuff, because it really does help my channel so much, and I am so grateful to you for that. And if you are a songwriter, I encourage you to join my very free private Facebook group called Roll Your Sound, and it's just a group for independent artists to you know, talk to each other about any struggles that you're having, and so that if you feel like you need a community of support, then come join us. The more the merrier, and we would love to have you. But anyway, with that, up next we have Candy Darling. So let's go give it a whirl. Nice, that was the short and sweet one. That was under 2 minutes. Also, the only thing I have to mention about this, and I noticed that St. Vincent kind of does this a lot. I think she did it like 4 or 5 times on this album, but her intro of the song was actually, had to do with the title lyric, or was the title lyric, or I'm sorry, was the title of the song. So that was another way that she started the song with the title. So I thought that was really cool. Up next, we have our very last song, Humming Interlude 3. Wow, all right, that was the album. The only thing I want to note about that interlude is that it was silent for like the first 5 seconds and the last 10 seconds. So I thought it was really cool that she incorporated silence into the song, because sometimes that's just what you need. But anyway, St. Vincent just showed off her songwriting knowledge. She is so experienced, she is so talented, and I don't think there's anyone that can deny that. This album was phenomenal. I'll definitely be listening to it again. But anyway, hey, if you want to hang out again, DM me on Instagram, come over, say what's up. I love to make new friends. And always remember, trust yourself, be yourself, love yourself. You got this. I will see you guys next time.